Ladies and gentlemen, American German Bulldog Nation, welcome to the Eric Deters Show. Well, the Trump trial. Yesterday, the conclusion of the trial, the defense decided not to call the FDIC former chairman because Judge Merchan was going to limit his testimony so much. We learned from Alan Dershowitz, who was left in the room for some reason when Merchan cleared the courtroom the day before, that Merchan was going to strike the testimony of Robert Costello, Cohen's former lawyer, for raising his eyebrow at him. Folks, that's like Mark Schweikert stuff. Also, Trump decided not to testify himself. No need to. No need to. They didn't prove their case, and it wouldn't make any difference anyway. The thing that I would like to share with you about what's gone on is the jury instructions. There's nothing, no matter what the hell happened the last month in that courtroom, it always gets down to those jury instructions. A word can make all the difference in the world. For example, in a medical malpractice case, they would always say in the instructions, cause the harm claimed by the plaintiff. And I would always get it changed to say cause some harm, because you don't have to prove all the harm, just some harm. Words matter in jury instructions. Willful seems to be the focus of the defense. So Trump ought to win this trial. If he loses, it'll prove how bad the cards were stacked against him. Mar-a-Lago raid. We found out something that ought to chill you to the bone. There are people out there. In fact, this is funny. I went to Waltz and had dinner with two of my buddies at 5 o'clock last night. That's how fretful I was about the election. 5 o'clock. And somebody came up to me there and said, you know, Trump's going to win this, so I'm really worried they're going to kill him. And at first chance, you think to yourself, getting paranoid. Really? Clinton's involved? I want to tell you something. The Justice Department authorized deadly force, we find out, when they did the raid on Mar-a-Lago. Who was at Mar-a-Lago besides a former president and his family? Secret Service agents. What if the Secret Service thought there was something going, crazy stuff. The Justice Department authorized deadly force at Mar-a-Lago. Wow. That ought to scare the hell out of you. And when the Biden campaign says they've got nothing to do with it, will you please understand, the entire Justice Department, Biden is their boss. All right, this was great. Bill Maher, he nailed it. He says Joe Biden is like Dracula. He's a cadaver walking around. Nailed it. Menendez, oh my God, his trial. Gold everywhere, cash stuffed in socks and shoes, everything else. Folks, you don't do that. If you've got legitimate golden cash, where do you put it? You just put it somewhere. Not in your socks and shoes. Oil for Trump. They're going to have a big old fundraiser down in Houston for Trump. Cha-ching. This is the Bulldog. Every dog has their day. Have a great day. Ladies and gentlemen, American German Bulldog Nation, this weekend, Taste of Cincinnati. It, of course, is Memorial Day weekend. If you've forgotten, you're probably off on Monday. I want to take a little bit of time to cover the election results in Kentucky, which showed voter turnout around 10% or less, which is even far less than the 15% back in the governor's race a year ago. I did a Facebook Live about the governor's race, but I want to share some things with you. And I want to winning an election means those who voted for you decided you were the best choice. It does not mean you weren't the best choice. Voters can be tragically wrong, like with Joe Biden, and a heavy price is paid. Thomas Massie, according to Trump, is a third-rate grandstander who I will never concede is a better choice than me. I shall carry on the fights and battles I believe in. Voters do not get to decide my fate. Now, let me just talk about that, okay? Less than 10% of Republicans determined the outcome of that election. So Thomas Massie and his nasties, they get out their little vote. They're the only ones with time, no lives to do such things. That's just a fact, folks. They are politics 24/7, 365. Not like you and me, ordinary people. I will remain, if anybody's wondering, I'm going to remain in opposition to their belligerent crap. If you think that me losing that election, which I expect to lose, remember, folks, I told you I was going to lose. I told you I had no chance. I didn't spend any money. I didn't campaign. But I enjoyed speaking the truth about Thomas Massie, and I'm going to continue to do that. Politics, like law, can be maddening because you can be right and lose. T.J. Roberts, my God. These are weird, creepy people. They can't pass a bill. Thomas Massie can't pass a bill. These guys out in Boone County can't pass a bill. They have no foot. They are zealot ideologues. Okay? Zealot ideologues. And they're not Trump. I'm going to love pointing that out. If you noticed, yesterday I announced Don Jr., Kim Guilfoyle's coming to Patriots Day, Freedom Fest, September 14th. These people are not Trump. They're not. And Trump's going to be president, and that's kind of my way of irritating the hell out of these folks. They want us to quit. I texted some like-minded people, and I said, they want us to quit, and we can't quit. We got to stick together. Now, this is wild, man. When I was chairman of the King County Republican Party, I used to choose candidates that I thought could win, and I would be blinded by, whether they do a good job or not. And that was a lesson for me. I'm probably unelectable to dog catcher because so many enemies I've made over the years as a flamethrower. I'm a flamethrower, folks. Politicians don't want to make anybody mad, or they make the right people mad. That's not me. Think about the people that I go after every single day. Make enemies. But when you think about Massie's personal life, T.J. Roberts' personal life, and the people that are on that team, these are weird, creepy people. Really weird people. And he's going to represent you, Boone County? Yeah, we'll see. Massie could never do what I do day in and day out. Ever. Yet voters choose him. Look at the shape our country is in. Voters chose Congress. Voters chose Biden. They rejected Trump last time around. How can any rational human being ever vote to reelect Joe Biden? Yet, half the country is going to vote for Joe Biden. I also love how liberty panders. I'm for liberty. I'm for the Constitution. Really? No, remember what I say. They think they own the Constitution. You and I aren't allowed to be for the Constitution. We're for gun rights. Who isn't in the Republican Party? They're for free speech. Who isn't in the Republican Party? This might sound elitist. It's not meant to be. But it needs to be said. It'll piss a lot of people off. I don't care. I respect rank and file. I do. Why do I do? I interact with the quote-unquote average Jane and Joes every day. They're my people. They're my people. Average Janes and Joes are my people. Okay? And I'm always blown away. The simple wisdom, the simple brilliance that they can have. Like, talk to a farmer sometime. A farmer has that. He may not have a college degree, but it doesn't matter. Construction workers, just workers, waitresses, okay? They can possess incredible wisdom and common sense. Yet, folks, and I know this for a fact, they can also just absolutely miss it. Miss it. And voters who are made up most of, the rank and file, get it wrong a lot because they just don't know. They just don't know. Look what Massie did to me. Massie wants everybody to think that I'm some crazy criminal, embarrassing, blah, blah. Nothing further from the truth. But if you don't really read my resume or CV or really check me out, that's all you're going to remember. Now, I want to tell you something else about these election results. Claire Worth, my friend, got 15% of the vote. I got 13% and finished a little bit behind even Michael McGinnis for third. Michael McGinnis, though, did campaign at Republican groups. I didn't. I didn't spend any money. But I had better name recognition in McGinnis. So there's people out there that weren't going to vote for me because I didn't campaign. They're like, well, if he's not going to campaign. Folks, I did that in the governor's race. You travel around the state, you go someplace. You get 2 minutes to speak, and they act like they want to hear from you, but they don't. All they do is want to put you through hell. And I chose not to do that. I look like a genius because I knew I couldn't beat Massey. And by not spending any money and by not wasting any time other than my social media, I wasn't upset last night. I'm glad I got to bash him. And I'm not getting off Massey's case. I'm not getting off the Liberty case. I'm not getting off TJ Roberts' case. These are creepy, weird people. And not only that, folks, I will continue to do what I do, fighting for you. Not going to affect me. I don't let that election, these election results ever say, this is what happens to some people. They're weak. They think, oh, I've been rejected. Oh, I'm bad. Oh, they're better than me, or da-da-da-da-da-da. Are you kidding me? You got to have enough self-respect and enough self-knowledge to know that you're better. Look at Trump. Trump knows that he's a lot better than Joe Biden. He does. All right, next issue. Scotty Scheffler. Video is going to be released today. We'll see what happens. Pam Harville, Butler County murderer of her husband, found incompetent. Terry Courtney named the interim mayor of Walton. And there was a knife attack at Coleraine High School graduation at the Truist Center over at NKU. Wow. This is the Bulldog. Every dog has their day. Have a great day.
Hello again, Bulldog Nation. Jamie Spindley here with the latest world headlines from the news desk. 9 Egyptian men went on trial for neglect homicide after a fishing trawler shipwreck in June 2023, which resulted in hundreds of migrants' deaths. The judge dismissed the case due to lack of jurisdiction. The Iowa State Patrol confirmed multiple deaths and at least a dozen injuries from a tornado and severe storms late last night. Sadly, we can confirm many deaths and injuries here in the Greenfield area, stated Sergeant Alec Dinkle. In other news, 7 people were killed in a raid by Israeli troops in the West Bank. According to Palestinian officials, reactions continue regarding the ICC arrest warrants over Gaza. And the UN announced the suspension of food distributions in Rafah, southern Gaza, due to supply shortages and security concerns. That's the latest headlines. I'll be back tomorrow. Cheerio.
Ladies and gentlemen, American jury and Bulldog Nation, welcome to Sports Without Boundaries. Short show today. Reds, they beat the Padres 2-0 at home. Let's hope they keep freaking winning and have a winning streak to counter the losing streak. The Celtics at home needed overtime to beat the Pacers 133-128. And it was announced at Paycor Stadium, the Bengals are spending $100 million of their own money. Well, since the franchise is worth billions, I say good. This is the Bulldog. Every dog has their day. Have a great day. Gentlemen, American Touring Bulldog Nation, welcome to Eric Deters Pop Culture, short show but fun show. Demi Moore, I didn't know this. There's a movie coming out, The Substance, which is kind of like a gory movie, and she does full frontal in it. Why, Demi? Can you imagine what they offered her? Hey, Demi, we'll give you a role if you bear all. Why do women do this? As much as I really did want to see Farrah Fawcett naked as a young man, I hated it when she finally did it. She lost her dignity. Bill Maher went on The View. He did the rounds, gut feel the night before. He goes on The View, and he let them have it about 2 things. 1, Israel, defending Israel. And number 2, Joy Behar not wanting to speak out bad about Biden because it would help Trump. And you say, you kill your credibility right there. Amen. This is the Bulldog. Every dog has the day. Hope you have a great day.